Owners love hand signals. They feel like if they can use hand signals, then their dog is extra special or extra smart. But here's the real fact on hand signals. Dogs pick up on body language a lot faster than they do oral commands because they have been born with the ability to read body language. That's how they communicate with each other. So any type of body language that you use, they're going to pick up on. Just like they can pick up on when you're about to leave the house. You do certain things, they can see that change. Now, does that mean that using hand signals is wrong? Absolutely not. However, I do encourage you to always put verbal commands with your behaviors and teach your dogs that they don't necessarily have to see the hand signal in order to respond. For example, if I'm going to use a hand signal such as this for the dog to come, well, that's great if he's looking at me. But what if he's running in the opposite direction and he can't see me? I don't want him to have to stop and look at me and then get the come command with the hand signal. I want him to listen to the verbal first. Maybe there's a time that he is looking at me and I want him to come. That may work just fine. But in the real world, he's not always going to be paying attention to you. Again, it's this difference between obedience and real world manners. Now, the only hand signal that I will actually teach with a verbal is the stay. And I like that because sometimes I want my dog to stay without me having to use the verbal. Maybe I'm in a conversation with an owner and their dog, and my dog is across the dog park and wants to approach. But I know that this particular dog is nervous and he doesn't want my dog approaching. I don't want to stop my conversation. Instead, I can just look at my dog for a quick second, give the hand signal, and then go back to talking. My dog at that point then knows to stop in its tracks and stay there until I give him the release command. So there are times that hand signals are great, but don't require your dog to read hand signals in order to respond to you. Remember, we want the dog to respond to us with whispers or normal tones, regardless if they're looking at us, regardless if we're in the backyard, the front yard, or we're walking down the street, or in the craft fair.